Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're talking about a health challenge that, for millions of people, feels like an untamable beast: diabetes. But what if I told you that you actually hold the power to tame it? We're going to dive into how you can take control and live a full, healthy life. So, where do we even begin? Let's start with a really crucial question, one that kind of changes how you look at this whole thing. Should we think of diabetes as a life sentence, or is it a manageable condition? The answer might surprise you. And that leads us to this really powerful analogy. Just imagine diabetes is a tiger. As long as that tiger is in its cage, meaning it's being managed, it's pretty much harmless. But if it gets out, well, that's when it becomes aggressive and really, really damaging. So let's explore those two futures, right? What happens when the tiger is tamed, and what happens when it's not? Because if that tiger does get out of its cage, the consequences are severe. Uncontrolled diabetes isn't something that just affects one part of you. It can cause damage literally from head to toe, impacting everything from your vision and your kidneys to your heart and even your feet. So the big question is, how do we keep that tiger caged? Well, it all starts with understanding the challenge itself. Before you can manage something, you've got to know what you're up against. First off, you have to know that diabetes isn't just one single thing. There's type 1, which often shows up in childhood, and that's when the body's own immune system actually attacks the pancreas. Then you have type 2, which usually develops over time, and that's more about the body not using insulin properly. They're fundamentally different conditions.
And just look at these numbers. It's kind of staggering, right? The vast, vast majority of cases, we're talking 90 to 95%, are type 2. And that is exactly why, for the rest of this explainer, we're going to be focusing specifically on how to manage type 2.
Now this right here, this is where you find your power. You might hear that genetics load the gun, and sure, they play a role, about 40% of the risk, but it's your lifestyle that pulls the trigger. A massive 60% of the risk comes down to lifestyle choices, and those are the very things you have the power to change.
Okay, so let's get practical. Let's talk about the Healthy Plate Blueprint, because this is your blueprint for control. If lifestyle is the key, then your diet is the absolute foundation. A really common problem is just what our plates normally look like. A lot of diets are incredibly heavy on the carbs. Things like rice and bread can make up almost 3/4 of the entire meal. And for someone trying to manage diabetes, that kind of overload is a huge challenge. So the solution is to completely flip that model. This is the Healthy Plate concept. Here, non-starchy vegetables are the star, filling up half the plate. Why? Because all that fiber slows down how your body absorbs sugar. Then protein takes up another quarter to keep you full, and that leaves just one final quarter for the carbohydrates. It's a total shift in focus. And building this plate is so simple. It's a repeatable 3-step process. Step 1, fill half your plate with those non-starchy veggies. Step 2, fill 1/4 with a good, lean protein. And step 3, use that last quarter for your carbohydrates. It's a visual guide you can use for literally every meal. Now that we have this blueprint, let's use it to tackle some common myths. There's so much confusing information out there about food and diabetes, so let's just set the record straight on a couple of things. So one of the biggest fears people have is fruit. It's sweet, so it must be completely off limits, right? Does having diabetes mean you have to give up apples and oranges and berries forever? Absolutely not. But here's the critical difference. A whole fruit has fiber, and that fiber acts like a brake pedal, slowing down how quickly your body absorbs the sugar. Fruit juice, on the other hand, strips all that fiber away, so it's like hitting the gas pedal on your blood sugar. The takeaway couldn't be simpler. Eat the fruit, skip the juice. Okay, next up, we see claims all over the internet about so-called superfoods. Can a little sprinkle of turmeric in your food or a clove of garlic every day actually act as a cure? Well, while foods like turmeric and garlic do have health benefits, for sure, they are not a magic bullet. Think of them as helpful supporting characters, not the hero of the story. They can't replace the real fundamentals: a balanced diet, exercise, and proper medical care. And this brings us to our final and honestly most important takeaway. Managing diabetes isn't about some 30-day diet or a quick fix you find online. It is a lifelong commitment to your own health. Success really rests on 5 key pillars. Yeah, we've talked a lot about diet, but that's just the start. You've got regular exercise, which helps your body use insulin more effectively. Medication, if your doctor prescribes it, is totally non-negotiable. Getting proper sleep is crucial for regulating your hormones. And finally, continuous monitoring. That's how you know if your plan is actually working. All 5 have to work together.
And throughout this journey, it is so essential to filter out the noise. Social media is just full of misinformation and people promising instant cures. Your best and safest path is always to follow the evidence-based advice from your doctor and your healthcare team. Period. So let's end right where we began. Remember that the power to manage this is in your hands. You have the ability to keep that tiger safely in its cage, and that allows you to live a long, vibrant, and healthy life, totally free from all those complications.
So I want to leave you with this final thought. Don't think about changing everything all at once, okay? That's overwhelming. Just think about your very next meal. What is one small change you can make right now to start taming that tiger?